DeYoung. I work here at the Alabama Gulf Coast Zoo, and I'm a keeper in the contact barn in the Americas department. I'm excited to talk to you all today about what a day in the life of a zookeeper is like. And the way that I got into this field, I have always been really interested in animals and have lived and worked around them since I was little. And so I went to college at Auburn University and got a Bachelor's of Science in Wildlife Ecology and Management, which allowed me to get into the zoo field, which I'm about to explain to y'all why it's such a great career. So as a contact barn keeper, we work mainly with domestic animals. We do have some wild animals in the contact barn area. We have a guanaco, which is the wild ancestor of a llama, and then we also have a white-tailed deer and a fallow deer. But along with them, we have a lot of awesome domestic animals, and you've probably heard that term before. So domestic animals have been selectively bred through generations by humans to exemplify certain desirable traits, like maybe their size or their behavior, their friendliness. So that's how we ended up with miniature pigs, like we have our own Piggy Smalls and Kevin Bacon. So they were bred over many generations to be smaller and friendlier than your typical livestock pigs that you might find in a farm. Animal domestication falls into three categories. First, you have animals that were domesticated to be companions for humans. An example would be wolves being domesticated into dogs over many generations. Second, there are animals that have historically been farmed for food for humans. These include sheep, cows, pigs, and chickens. And then third, there are work animals that were used to help work in the fields, including horses and donkeys. Domestication of animals turned humans from foragers who had to look for their food and spend a lot of the time out of their day looking for their food into farmers who were able to grow it on their own and have a more stable existence. So this gave humans the opportunity to create communities, civilizations, and really think outside of where our next meal was coming from. And domestic animals are an important part of this, and therefore an important part of our human history and heritage. We start our day by collecting all of the different grains for the different animal species that we have in the barn. Every species gets a different grain that is specifically made for that species. It's going to contain all the vitamins and nutrients that are important for keeping them healthy. And we also measure each grain out to a specific amount to keep our animals at a healthy weight. So many of the animals in the contact barn are ruminants, and this includes our sheep, goats, deer, alpaca, and guanaco. These animals all have a digestive system that's quite different from our own. Instead of just having one compartment in their stomach, they'll have 3 or 4. And the largest chamber is called the rumen, which is where most of the digestive breaking down goes on of plant matter. So plants are made of cellulose, which is really hard to break down, and these guys eat a lot of grasses and hay, so it takes a lot to break that down. So sometimes they will regurgitate it, chew their cud, and eat it again, which seems kind of gross to us, but it's what they need to do to get the nutrients that they need. And so due to this complex digestive system and diet, they also create a lot of waste throughout the day, so that comes with a lot of cleaning. A lot of people think that zookeepers just get to hang out with their animals all day, which would be really awesome, but we do spend a lot of time cleaning up after them in their stalls and raking their exhibits throughout the whole day. Something that's different working in the contact barn compared to other routines in the zoo is that our domestic animals are not dangerous, so we are able to physically touch them and go in with them. If we need to do a medical procedure for them, we don't have to shift them to another area or do anything through a fence. We're able to actually get hands-on time with our animals, which is really valuable to us. And it also gives us the opportunity to check them over for any medical issues and perform husbandry tasks and daily care tasks that we do for them. We weigh our animals, we groom and brush them, and we also trim their hooves. So hoof care is extremely important for ungulates or hoofed animals. They have feet with hard toe tips that are covered with keratin, just like our own fingernails, and those do grow continuously. So in the wild, they would be moving and walking over many miles every day, but in captivity, they don't get that opportunity. So we take care of their hooves for them by trimming them. For the goats, they each get trimmed about once a month or maybe more often, depending on their individual growth habits. And we use hoof trimmers to help cut off the extra hoof wall and shape the foot correctly, because having it shaped wrong or growing like more on one side than the other can cause hip and joint issues in the future, especially for our older animals. One of our animals that this is especially important for is Angie, our Sicilian donkey. We pick and clean her hooves after she's been outside to the hoofstock yard with the alpaca and the guanaco. And also if we take her on a walk around the zoo, we'll pick her hooves after. It's very important to make sure that she doesn't have a rock stuck in there or impacted dirt that could cause issues. We also have a farrier or a hoof care specialist that comes out every 6 weeks for routine trimming and maintenance of Angie's hooves and to make sure everything is good. As contact barn keepers, a big part of our job is guest interaction. So we get the awesome opportunity to help reach a new generation of animal lovers. A lot of children's first experience with animals is learning the sounds of the barnyard animals, and we get to really see the excitement on their faces when they get to actually meet these animals and touch them and feed them in person, which is a great thing. It's very important to teach children to interact properly with animals and respect them from an early age, and we're really happy that we get to be a part of that. Touching an animal and seeing it up close helps people connect with the animal, and these moments will create memories for them that they'll remember forever, and they may even decide to become a zookeeper one day. So thank you guys for joining us and learning about the day of a contact barn keeper. They're typically filled with a lot of hard work, but it's really rewarding. We feed our animals, clean every exhibit, and perform important husbandry tasks for them to make sure they stay happy and healthy. So next time you're at the zoo, please come by the contact barn and see our awesome animals and come say hi to us. We can't wait to see you. Without your support, none of our work would be possible.